What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, everybody. Look, man, we got to talk about James Gunn. We got to talk about the future of the DCU because as we speak, everybody online seems to be losing their shit in one direction or another. It just depends on where you rock with it. Cosmic Book News posted this up. With Superman reportedly bombing financially and with Peacemaker Season 2 flopping with fans, I reached out to my insiders about the state of the DCU under James Gunn. The short of it is that James Gunn will be out as the head of DCU with the WBD sale. I'm told if David Ellison of Skydance Paramount buys WBD, that Mike DeLuca will be in charge of DC and do a completely new start. All right, so that was one piece of information that came out in regards to it. This one right here, also by Cosmic Book News. Following up on my Zack Snyder info, I said I had asked my insiders about the state of the DCU. Fans aren't happy with James Gunn's goofy storytelling coupled with his politics that he has been injecting into the content. I'm told the reason various DCU projects haven't happened isn't because, per Gunn, that the scripts aren't good enough. I'm told it's because the filmmakers want their own vision and not James Gunn's interference. All right, so studio interference here, and they're talking out basically like, yeah, this guy's out. All right, he's out the door, and Mike DeLuca is going to take over from DC. All right, what do I think about all of this? Okay, because this stuff right now, I put a tweet out. Everybody started attacking me in my tweet, and I'm just over here laughing my ass off. All right, because look, here's what I said. Here's all I said. This absolutely needs to happen, and then WB also needs to get rid of Black Snape while they're at it. All right, now, am I saying that I absolutely 1,000% believe the report? No, I don't 1,000% believe the report. I believe that he was told this, all right, Matt McGloin from Cosmic Book News, but I've said this about like rumors and, insiders and stuff. I say that they're hearing the information that they're saying. Whether or not that's the truth is a different story, but he's reporting what he's hearing. I believe he is saying essentially, hey, this is what I heard. That's all he's doing. He's just saying, this is what I've heard. And I'm saying, yeah, what you heard needs to happen. Now, I know a lot of gunnites or gun gooners or whatever y'all call yourself, gun sexuals. I know you guys see what I got on and you think, this dude's a Snyder bro. He hates Gunn. I don't hate James Gunn. I think James Gunn was the wrong man for the job. That's it. That's all. I've said many times that I think Guardians is great. Okay. I enjoyed Suicide Squad. I enjoyed the first season of Peacemaker. So I'm not a Gunn hater. All right. I don't hate the guy. But what I'm saying is that he was the wrong man to lead the DCU. And I'm a person, again, that initially said, I think James Gunn would do a good job with the DCU. I have been proven wrong. This guy is the wrong man to do this work. Why? Possibly, maybe because he's too damn childish to put together a legitimate, serious DC universe. He wants to throw orgies and full frontal nudity into a project, one of the first 3 projects of your cinematic universe. This is stupidity. This is stupidity. Anybody that has a brain cell would understand you don't put orgies in the first 3 projects of your cinematic universe. You just don't do it. So the fact that this guy did that he went there, it's like, all right, bro, you the wrong cat for the job. You got to go. It's it. That's it. I'm not saying I hate his guts, and I don't think that he can, put together a decent story or maybe a good movie here and there. I've already said that he's good. But I am saying that this cat cannot lead a cinematic universe. And that brings me to this thing right here where they're saying, James Gunn has his own vision. And what James Gunn should be doing is saying, hey, here's the movies that I want to make, or here's the movies that belong in the cinematic universe. I'll make a few of them or whatever, but I'm now leaving it up to the creatives to go out and create. Do your thing. I'm not going to sit up here and lord over you and say, this doesn't work, that doesn't work. This is not what I would want for this universe. No. Marvel, when they first started, Kevin Feige kind of had an overarching vision along with Ike Perlmutter and everybody else that helped shape the MCU initially. But you got different types of projects like Guardians of the Galaxy because everybody was kind of able to do their own thing. It's like, okay, yeah, it has to fit within the story, but you can do your own thing. You can have your own style. You don't have to follow the James Gunn style. You can have your own style. You can have your own vision. That's what people want. That's what they said here. Filmmakers want their own vision. They don't want to do it the way James Gunn wants to do it. So the scripts are probably not working out because they're like, oh, this script doesn't fit with my vision. That's how James Gunn is looking at it. Like, he's basically doing what Marvel is doing now. What Marvel is doing right now is Kevin Feige's vision And then he's hiring all of these directors for hire just to direct the movies. Like, it's Kevin Feige's vision. And Kevin Feige's vision doesn't work. You need real filmmakers. That's why the first 3 phases of the MCU worked out fine. Because you had real filmmakers making those movies. When you just have, oh, we're just going to have my vision, and then I'll get these directors for hire to go out there and just execute it. They're really not even directing the movie. All right? They're like just glorified, like hired hands. Yeah, just put everybody through their paces. Just have the actors read the lines. You just do that. And then what Kevin Feige is doing, because that's exactly what Feige is doing, he's going behind the scenes and he's trying to put it together in post and fix it all up and blah, blah, blah to make it like, oh, okay, this all worked out fine because it's Kevin Feige's vision. Well, you've seen what happens with Kevin Feige's vision. It absolutely blew up in his face. I think the same thing would happen with James Gunn. If you're letting Andy Muschietti do the Brave and the Bold, you got to let him do Brave and the Bold. And they need to get Brave and the Bold and Batman and all of that stuff right now. You can't be moving to Clayface. You can't be moving to Superman of tomorrow because that's something that you want to do. You got to get to it. It's like, all right, let's go, man. We dragging our ass here. We need Wonder Woman. We need Flash. We need Green Lantern. We need all of these other cats. These should be the primary projects. I know Green Lantern is coming, but we need primary heroes setting up the rest of the DC universe. And then we'll get to Blue Beetle. And then we'll get to the Authority and all of that other shit, Swamp Thing. And again, I want to see all of that stuff. I'm not saying don't do any of it. I want to see all of it. All of it. All of that stuff that he had on his little Gods and Monsters Chapter 1 slate. I was like, dope, let's go. But I was always questioning, okay, how's this going to come together? How is this going to come together? Because you got Superman here, then you got Waller, and I'm like, okay, you could use Waller to set up some stuff like they did with Peacemaker, Checkmate. All of that stuff is being set up. But it's like, okay, but we need to get Batman right away. We need to get Wonder Woman right away. We need to establish these characters. And already this dude is bringing Supergirl in. It's like, why are you bringing Supergirl in as your second movie? This man is completely out to lunch. He's doing his own thing, and the audiences are not rocking with orgies, and they're not rocking with Supergirl gone wild. They're not doing this. This is not something that everybody wants to watch. So that's why I believe it 100% that, oh, yeah. If I buy this thing out, if David Ellison said, yeah, if I buy this thing out, yeah, we need something more commercial. I think people don't understand that DC is a billion upon billion upon billion dollar franchise, and that's money to these big studios. That's money. James Gunn can come out there and do something creative and build it up from there, and I think a lot of people would have been all right with that. But Creature Commandos, you got Rick Flag fucking in the bathroom. All right, and now you got a full-fledged orgy going on in Peacemaker Season 2. Along with a lot of other stuff. Like, yo, yeah, let's tackle racism. That's what everybody wants to do when they're, a brand new universe is just starting. Oh, brand new universe. Wait, racism? We really talking about Nazi world and racism this fucking early? Hey, maybe that should be for Gods and Monsters Chapter 2, or maybe Chapter 3, or maybe not at all. Maybe people aren't really rocking with this James Gunn. This is the point that I've been making, and people don't seem to understand that shit. And then they come out, oh, well, you believe this crazy rumor? Yeah, I mean, I kind of, like I said, I don't necessarily say that this is 100% happening, but I believe that this is what they were told. I believe the insiders were absolutely told this because, from the outside looking in, it looks like a total shit show right now. It does. It absolutely does. That first chapter, Gods and Monsters slate, it doesn't look like James Gunn knows what he's doing. He's trying to do like a comic book fan's wet dream. With all the orgies and everything else you could possibly imagine. All right. Full frontal nudity in Peacemaker. Yeah. Oh, it's not for kids. Yeah. Tell a parent about, oh, there's full frontal nudity in one of these DCU projects. This is the reason why I don't think they put Superman in Peacemaker. Because if Superman showed up in Peacemaker, little kids would want to go and watch that. And that would have been a deal breaker. Then it really would have been over. It's like, oh my God, Superman's in Peacemaker, Dad. I got to go see Superman. And dads not paying attention would have said, all right, let's check out Peacemaker. Holy shit, what the hell am I watching? Nope. The DCU is dead. All right. And I think right now, that's the way that people are looking at it over there at Paramount, man. This thing is already dead. Maybe Lanterns turns this whole thing around when it drops, all right? Maybe Lanterns blows everybody's mind, and it's all of a sudden one of the best TV series ever. And James Gunn is like, whew, man, that was close. Because even after Peacemaker, even the diehard Peacemaker fans were like, I don't know what this dude was doing, bro. This is terrible. All the people that have been loving Peacemaker all season long, I showed y'all the videos on the last one. These were fans. These are James Gunn fans that love James Gunn. They were saying, bro, I don't know about this universe now, man. This thing looks crazy. I'm not just talking out of my ass. Those are actual fans that were saying that. So, again, if fans aren't happy, if it says fans aren't happy with James Gunn's storytelling, look, you gotta be willfully ignorant or obtuse to just not agree with that. Like, okay, there's definitely some pushback. And everybody, oh, it's just you Snyder bros. Oh, you Snyder bros hate it. I ain't a Snyder bro. I like Henry Cavill's portrayal as Superman. That's why I got this on. And I like Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's why I got the hat. Everything else that was over there was, yeah, it's some good, some bad. All right. But for the most part, yeah, I think that Zack Snyder's, the SnyderVerse, it needed an overhaul. I would have kept some of the good stuff in the SnyderVerse and shit canned everything else. Like, I was looking forward to seeing the Trench movie. I felt like they should have let James Wan keep cooking. Like, all right, James Wan, Aquaman 2 didn't work, but we liked Aquaman 1. Let's see what you're doing with the Trench. Can you build out like a nice little trilogy or something to try to shape up Aquaman? I would have been okay with that. But, James Gunn wanted, Jason Momoa as Lobo, so that shit was gone. But I wouldn't have minded that. I didn't mind Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I didn't mind her. She's not a good actress. But you know what? She's easy on the eyes, and she did a pretty decent enough job as Wonder Woman. All right, cool. I can rock with that. Obviously, I like Henry Cavill as Superman. There were things that they should have kept. We should have got to that Batman versus Deathstroke. That would have been dope. Now, Harley Quinn, yeah, you could throw that shit out, okay? The Suicide Squad, honestly, they could have lost both of them, even though I did like the second The Suicide Squad. They could have lost both of those. I would have been okay with that. There were things in the Snyder universe that's like, yeah, you know what? Not this shit needs to go. All right? That last year with the Flash and Blue Beetle, get all of that shit out of here. Okay? But keep the stuff that was working. I felt like that was James Gunn's responsibility. Keep what's working. Find a way to meld it all together. Reshape the universe. If you got to reboot it. A soft reboot, but you keep Cavill. I think you keep Ben. I think you keep Jason Momoa. And you keep Gal Gadot. Those worked. And then everything else, you figure it out. But he didn't do that. He decided to go full frontal nudity with fucking Peacemaker. It is what it is, man. Accept it or don't accept it. That's just my opinion on the situation. Anyway, what do y'all think about it, man? Do you believe it? All right. Do you think it might happen? Have there been some conversations behind the scenes? Is James Gunn feeling comfortable in his job right now? I think this was another important headline that a lot of people are kind of missing the boat on. Forbes claims James Gunn's Superman lost money in theatrical run. Report alleges DCU premiere $42 million short of profitability. That's what Cosmic Book News was saying. All right. That Superman reportedly bombed financially. So if that happened, behind the scenes, this is what Forbes is claiming. And maybe James Gunn is like, you know what? This ain't the move. This ain't the move. This ain't what we wanted. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about it. Go ahead, jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.